Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome back to school. Today is Thursday, December 9th, 2021. We're glad you're back with us for a day of learning and hopefully a little bit of sunshine. It is definitely getting colder out there. We can tell that winter is almost here. Fall is just like a week or so away from becoming winter. So we're almost to winter time. It's almost here. And with that comes that S word, snow. I wonder if we'll get some snow. You know, I'd like it to maybe hold off until we get our winter break so we don't miss days and then have to make them up later in the year. But I love the snow. How about you? Do you guys like the snow? I know I love the snow. Oh, Snoopy loves the snow. Look, Snoopy's ready for the snow. He's got his ice skates for cracking hockey. He's got his scarf. He's got his beanie hat on. Snoopy's ready for some snow to come here soon, but it's definitely cold out there. I hope you remember to bring your jackets, wear your gloves and those kind of things. I think the weather is starting to turn for us, Snoopy. Maybe we'll get some snow here soon. Hey, boys and girls, as you start off on this day, I wanted to mention to you, I don't know if you know this or not, but December is Universal Human Rights Month. That's right. Everybody in the world, universal means everybody. Everyone deserves to have human rights. Everyone deserves to have rights, the same as everybody else. No one should have rights more than another person. That's what we talk about when we talk about equality, that we're equal. That's what we're talking about. So this month is a chance to think about that. You know what, something really, really interesting that back when I taught fourth grade, we talked about this person. His name was George Bush, not the president, but there was actually a person in Washington State who came here, and he was actually the first person that was not indigenous, meaning he wasn't a Native American. And he came and he settled in this area, kind of by Olympia, where our capital is, in Tumwater. His name was George Bush, and you know what? He was actually a black pioneer. So the very first non-Native American in this area was a black settler named George Bush. And I used to teach my fourth graders this information. It's kind of cool to know because a lot of people don't really realize that. He wasn't really taught a lot about in schools, and so I wanted to share that with you. It's kind of cool to think about. So he was a black pioneer, and he fled violent discrimination in both Missouri, where he was from, and then he came to Oregon and he had the same thing. So he came a little north of Oregon up to Washington, and he settled here, and he was fighting discrimination because he was black. It was right after the Civil War had happened, and he came west to settle the area. So again, our first pioneer in Washington State was George Bush, who was an African American. So being a black pioneer, he came to this area, and some history books and things did not have his story in there. But you know what's kind of cool? Just recently, you can read it in the Seattle Times, but just recently, he has now a monument that is at the Capitol in Washington, in Olympia in Washington, in our state capital. And it's actually the very first monument for a person of color, for a black person specifically. It's the very first one to be on the Capitol campus. And so it was just unveiled just like a couple weeks ago, which is kind of cool. So they unveiled a monument to George Bush last week at the Capitol in Olympia. And again, it's the first monument at the Capitol campus, is what they call it, by our Capitol, dedicated specifically to a black person. And so that's kind of cool to know that information. I love learning new things about history and about our area and about the people of our area. And it kind of reminded me of that, talking about Universal Human Rights Month. I kind of thought of that, and I saw that had happened, so I just wanted to share that with you. I thought that was kind of cool. And so, Snoopy, did you learn something from what I just shared today? Good. I'm glad you learned something from that. Oh, geez, look. It's Hedgie. Hi, Hedgie. Do you want it to snow? You don't want it to snow. You like it warmer? See, we're all a little different. Snoopy's got on his ice skates ready for ice and snow and cold weather, and Hedgie looks like he's ready to, you don't want snow. Okay. Hedgie doesn't want snow. See, we're all a little different, right? Some of us like the snow and like, oh man, that just sounds so fun, doesn't it? Other people are like, oh, it's too cold out there. So we all are a little different. But you know what? We still can play together, right? So boys and girls, have a great day of playing together. Celebrate and accept our differences with each other, but we also want to not only celebrate differences, but we want to accept each other and include each other. So Hedgie and Snoopy, you guys want to go play for some Foursquare? Yeah, you're going to have to take off your ice skates, Snoopy. Okay. Hey, boys and girls, have a great day of learning, and always remember, your Frylands family cares about you. Teachers, please lead your students in the Pledge of Allegiance. You guys ready to go? Hey, where are you going? Hey, wait, where are you going?